Hey guys, the Common Man here. So I've got something I'm pretty excited about today. This is, if you haven't guessed it already, this is the CJRB Pyrite. So it's kind of funny. I wanted to pick this knife up because I freed up some funds. I didn't have a ton of money to work with right now. It's probably gonna be a little while before I pick up another premium knife. So I was in the budget knife category. So did some looking online, tried to figure out what is one of the best budget knives you can find right now. And I'm talking right around like the, $40 to $50, maybe $60 price range. And it was pretty clear to me that this guy, if not being the number one, was certainly up there within the first, couple of knives, the top knives. So again, I personally wasn't crazy about it, but I decided let's check out the hype. Let's see if it lives up to its reputation. And I am pleased to say that the longer I carry and play with this guy, the more I am really impressed with it. So let's just go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and look at the package, and we'll see what comes when you purchase the knife brand new. I did buy this knife brand new from Blade HQ, and it came really quickly. I was blown away by the shipping. It was really quick. So it comes in this nice CJRB box. I'm pretty sure they almost all come in the same packaging. It's got a nice soft touch feel, and you get this zipper pouch. Feels pretty high quality. I really like it. It's actually got a little strap here. Typical stuff. Same thing that you'd see from a lot of different budget knife companies and some premium knife companies as well. Nice microfiber cloth, comes in a bag, and nothing too crazy, but overall really nice packaging for the money. And the money, by the way, was really cheap. Blade HQ is having a sale on a lot of their knives right now. CJRB has a lot of knives on sale, and this one I think I paid $42 or $43, something like that, which is crazy. It's an awesome price versus the $48 or $49 that it originally is. Actually, it might be more than that. It might be in the 50s. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look at the knife itself. So first off, the blade, man, this thing is just beautiful. It's the blade stock thickness is relatively thin, but what's really impressive is how thin that edge is. It's a very nice, very slicey edge. You can see very consistent blade grind on there. I mean, it's really impressive. And look at that beautiful tumbled finish. I mean, that's just incredible. That's a good looking blade on a very, very affordable knife. Blade steel is, I believe, I don't want to say it before I know for sure. Yeah, AA RPM 9, which is my understanding is a very good budget blade steel, but still maintains a lot of high quality features, good edge retention. I believe, don't quote me, but I want to say it's a stainless. I'm pretty sure it's a powder formed steel, and it should have pretty decent corrosion resistance, good, pretty good toughness. My understanding, pretty good steel for the money. It's got a full flat grind, well, actually not quite full flat. It does have a little bit of a flat portion up here, but mostly it's fully flat, but it doesn't necessarily go all the way up the blade is what I'm trying to say. But really nice profile, beautiful for slicing. Relatively low tip in relation to the center line of the handle, so this is going to be nice for those draw cuts. It's really going to be an all-around incredible EDC blade shape. Not too big in the profile. It doesn't have a super tall profile, which I generally prefer. I prefer kind of a thinner to medium profile blade. I don't like blades that are overly large in the profile for the most part. But everything's just done beautifully. Look at that sharpening choil. I mean, that's incredible. Tons of life in that blade. You can put a lot of sharpening. You can do a lot of sharpenings before you start getting up into that plunge cut there, that plunge grind. Really nice finger choil up front. I mean, it's just enough room to get a finger in there. Jimping is nice. The thumb studs are perfect. I mean, look at this. That is just perfection. The positioning of the thumb studs is, the reason it's not closing all the way is because I'm kind of closing it at an angle. If I'm closing it straight down, it drops no problem. But the positioning of the thumb studs is absolutely perfect for the thumb flick. You've got reverse flick. I think I could even, almost with my pointer finger. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that just shows you that the tuning is perfect, the detent is beautiful, and thumb stud positioning is great. You can get this in a different blade shape. It's going to be kind of like a sheep's foot or not a Warncliffe. I think it's a sheep's foot. But blade shape on that's going to be a little bit different. Obviously a much flatter cutting edge, and it does have a hole cut out in the blade, and that's used for the blade deployment, where you can still deploy it with your thumb. Reverse flick is good. Now I have held that particular version, and I will say this one to me is a little bit more natural in the deployment. I like the thumb stud. If they had that sheep's foot blade with the thumb stud, I may have gone with that version. But this one I'm extremely happy with. I knew I wanted the thumb stud. But anyway, we'll move back into the handle here. You can see this is going to have steel liners with G10 scales over the top of them. And man, is this nice. This G10 has this beautiful texturing. It's not super heavy. It's not quite as aggressive as like a Spyderco, their peel ply, but this has a nice kind of peel ply texture where it's, you know, smooth enough but grippy enough. It's kind of just perfect, and it looks good too. And you can get several different scale types. You can get micarta. They even have titanium. Now you're not getting full titanium scales unless you get their premium version, but you can get a version of this that is still, I think, considered budget, where it's got essentially like a overlay of titanium, just like this G10 is, and it's just in titanium, which is very cool, because if you wanted to take those off and anodize them, my understanding is you can do that pretty easily. This is actually cut out. Let me see if I can. Shout out to Olight. I absolutely love these little lights. But you can see it's got plenty of weight reduction in there, which is just perfect. It makes this knife, I mean, it really is pretty lightweight for what it is, considering it's full steel liners. And then obviously it is a button lock, and it is one of the best button locks I have ever used. Honestly, one thing that kind of turned me off to this Avivi Cubit, which is another button lock knife, a really good knife, honestly, overall, but something that kind of annoyed me is when you pushed that button in and you pushed it too far, the blade would drag. Well, I'm happy to say on this knife, if you push that button in as hard as you can, the blade is not going to drag on the back end of that button. It doesn't interfere with the pivot at all. And you can see this thing is just as free as can be, and rock solid lockup, not any blade play at all. I mean, it's really impressive that they can do this for this price, to have perfect lockup, no blade play, beautiful action, beautiful detent tuning. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. And when I say detent, I could actually be wrong about that. This may not be on a detent. Yeah, I think it's actually, there's no detent in there. It's just going to be that button interacting with the blade, and that's basically what causes the opening lockup and the closing lockup. So anyway, the tuning is just absolutely perfect. And I think, I keep making these claims that I don't know 100%, but I am telling you as much as I can here. I just need to look in there and see. Yeah, it's going to be on ball bearings. Yep, perfect, ball bearings. So I can confirm. I mean, yeah, overall, guys, this knife is just absolutely perfect. I mean, for what it is, I think it is bordering on, or teetering on, that perfect. I think you can pretty much use the word perfect just about. The pocket clip is beautiful. You can see good access to the screws there. It is not countersunk, but that's really okay because the screws are. So it should not interfere with your pocket at all, getting it in and out. The design of the pocket clip is pretty much, I mean, I'm going to use it again, perfect. It's got this little bit of upsweep to get over your the seam on the pocket, and it goes down in without too much sticking up where it's going to start catching stuff. I mean, this design is great. You do still have a lanyard hole if you want that, and it does not interfere with the pocket clip positioning. We'll go ahead and look at hardware. I want to say this should be T6 hardware, which is, you know, not ideal, but this is, again, this is a budget knife. So if it is T6, that's not the worst thing in the world. So let's see, I am going to check that. I'm just going through my bits right now, my WIA bit set, which I really enjoy. I love this bit set. And then my little, I'm trying to think, Klein. I think this is a Klein tool. It's one of those multi-bit things that I can't get. Oh yeah, there you go. Really cool screwdriver. Found this on Amazon. Again, it's a Klein screwdriver. I do highly recommend it. It does come with these little stubby bits, but you can put full-size bits in it. So let's see, this is a T6, and then this should be It should be a T8, but again, we will check just so that I am not wrong. What is this here? T7. Yeah, T8. So the pivot's going to be a T8. Everything else is going to be a T6, which is fine. Again, if this were a premium knife, I would have a problem with that, having T6 hardware. It's not. It's a budget knife, and it's a really great price, so I'm not going to complain about it. And the hardware, honestly, is pretty minimal. You just got 2 back spacers here, or 2 standoffs, and then you have the pivot, and that's pretty much everything that holds this knife together. The scales and everything, and then obviously a couple of screws for the pocket clip. But yeah, I mean, guys, this thing is absolutely, it's phenomenal. I knew I would like it, and the thing is, I've actually held this knife. I've held both versions of it in my local knife shop. I've held this version as well as the sheep's foot version. I did prefer this version, again, because of the thumb studs. And I liked the knife. I don't think it stood out to me particularly when I was looking at them, because I think I was in the market for a premium knife when I was there. But anyway, my initial impressions was it was good, and I kind of let it go. I didn't really pick one up, and then just recently when I decided to make this purchase, I pulled this out of the box when I got it, when it was mailed to me. My first initial impression was it's kind of small, but the overall quality I thought was incredible. And then I got playing with it. I got flicking it and just messing around with it and holding it in my hand. And the longer I did, the more I thought, you know what, this is kind of perfect. The size is nice. It's a little bit on the small side, but it fits the hand beautifully. You can see you got tons of room there in the handle, and it just, for some reason, somehow it starts to not feel so small. It seems to feel more like just right, you know? And then the crazy thing is, budget knives, I don't carry them that often because I'm a snob. I like my expensive premium knives. I like the nice materials. I like the feel of them and stuff. So if a budget knife kicks a premium knife out of my pocket, that's saying a lot. And the thing is, when I got this out of the package, I was carrying a Chris Reeve Umnumzan, which is one of my favorite knives that I own. And I liked this so much that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna carry this. So I took the Umnumzan out of my pocket. I put this guy in my pocket, and I found myself taking it out and messing with it a lot. And man, I was super pleased with it. So I'm not saying this is better than a Chris Reeve Umnumzan, but I'm saying that I like it so much that it replaced one for an evening, which is yeah, that says a lot about a budget knife that costs geez, I don't even know, a fraction of what that knife costs. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Actually, I do know what else to say. Let's go ahead and do a size comparison just to give you an idea of how big this guy is, or how not big this is, however you want to look at that. Pull out a couple of knives here, knives that hopefully everyone is familiar with. Sorry, don't mind my arm getting in the way here. All right, a couple of knives we'll start with. We'll start with one that's kind of in this knife category. Another budget knife is going to be the Civivi Elementum 2 button lock. Very, very good competition, very close competitor for this knife, because you're looking at a lot of the same things. It's a button lock, G10 scales, or at least available, steel liner, pretty similar blade length. Handle length is just maybe a little bit longer on the Pyrite, but very similar size. If you like this guy, I think you're really, really going to like the Pyrite, possibly even a little bit better. This thing just feels a little bit more refined to me overall. But anyway, just size comparison, you got that there. And then we'll look at a couple others, the Spyderco PM2 and the Para 3. You can see very much along the lines of the Para 3. Doesn't fill out the hand quite as well as the Para 3, but it's going to give you kind of that similar carry size. And then obviously fair bit smaller than the PM2. And then we'll just look at closed size, because I think this is something to seriously consider. Look how much smaller that carries, much thinner, or lower profile on the CJRB Pyrite than on the Para 3. But the Para 3 never really seems to get in the way. You can see though, I mean, you've got, gosh, what, a ½ inch, almost 3/4 of an inch less profile in the Pyrite. And then let's go ahead and just look at overall thickness. Pretty similar there. Pyrite is just a hair thinner, almost negligible, but yeah, I mean, you can see pretty similar overall. But Anyway, guys, that's it. I think that's all I wanted to cover on this thing. I really can't say enough good things about it. I'm really excited. I like it way more than I thought I was going to, and I knew I'd like it. I knew it was going to be a good knife. I didn't think it was going to be a fantastic knife, and it really is. And to be honest with you, I might pick myself up a version that's maybe a little bit more premium with some different handle scales or something. That is how much I like this knife. So anyway, guys, highly recommend it. Good gift, good knife to pick up for yourself. Real cheap. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And if you want to see more of my videos, I hope to be uploading more often now. So anyway, yeah, just follow along. Consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.